कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः. In Srimad Ramayanam, we are often told that Rama suffered, languished in the forests. Just imagine if we were to time travel and I was one of the journalists, good journalists. You may be wondering if the word good and journalists go together. Let's assume for a minute that the word good and journalists go together. If I were a good journalist and I were given the opportunity to pose questions to Sri Ramachandra, my question would be, Sir, they often say that you were sent to 14 years on an exile to the forest. Is it true that you suffered in the forest? He will give a smirk and he would say, Yes, my last year when my dear wife, my beloved Sita was abducted, I was clueless, directionless. Then I had to go fight Ravana. It was an ordeal to fetch her back and get my Pattabhishekam done. So he will agree that the last 1 year was extremely troubling, gruesome, very troublesome. There is no denial. But the first 13 years were the most memorable years in the lives of Rama and Sita. Why am I telling this? Because when the trio crossed the waters of Ganga, Rama met one of the best friends of his life. Valmiki gives such a commendable introduction to a character, to a patram called Guha. Tatra raja guho nama ramasya atma samasakha nishada jatyo balavan स्थापतिश्चेति विश्रुतः तत्र राजा गुहो नाम रामस्यात्मसमसखा रामस्य आत्मसमसखा. What a beautiful usage of words. He could have said Rama's friend. Ramasya atmasamasakha. How much a person will value his Atma? Because if Atma, Jivatma doesn't exist, what is the use of this body? If the Jivatma exits the body, the entire family will go disposes off. There is no use of this body there. Till the Jivatma is inside the body, resides in the body only, there is value for us. So the Jivatma is so important. Rama valued Guha as much as he valued his Jivatma. I cannot explain this further. You have to feel that. Ramasya Atma Samasakha Nishada Jatyo Balavan. That great valorous man was of the Nishada Jati. Stapatis Cheti Vishrutaha. The mystic Tamil poet Tirumangayalvar called Parakala states, Yezhai Yedalan Kirmagan Yennadirangi Machavarkinarul Shurand Malaiman Madaya Noki உன் தோழி எம்பி என்றொழிந்திலை உகந்து தோழன் நீ எனக்கிங்கொழி என்ற சொற்கள் வந்து அடியேன் மனத்திருந்திட ஆழிவண்ண நின்னடியினை அடைந்தேன் அணிபொழில் திருவரங்கத்தம்மானே திருவரங்கத்தம்மானே ஏழை ஏதலன் கீழ்மகன் என்னாதிரங்கி மற்றவர்க்கு இன்னருள் சுழந்து மழை மான் மட நோக்கி. I don't know if the words of Thirumangai Mannan in Tamil and the words of Sanskritam by Valmiki are competing with each other to give us the characterization of Guha. Guha was extremely devoted to Rama. The beauty is he has never seen Rama. But Rama was such a hero of his times. Any activity he did used to be in a different style. He walked, there was a style. He spoke, there was melody. Every act of Rama was observed by the media. Every act of Rama was hailed by the rishis. Every act of Rama had its own set of followers. So even if you had not seen Rama, you will fall in love with Rama. So amongst the whole galaxy of people who had fallen in love with Rama was Guha. He had never seen Rama. But to him it was an utter surprise that Rama whom he had hero worshipped, whom he had loved, is coming to his place. So he was extremely happy. So he comes running. True to certain communities, every community has its own distinct habits and features. Just because one community follows one set of habits, it doesn't mean the other community should also be following, and if they don't follow, they will rot in hell. No. As hunters, as tribal hunters, they were not used to taking bath every day. That used to be like a momentous occasion, like how we have Deepavali or Diwali once a year, they used to take bath once a year. Maybe they were involved in water conservation, we don't know. So this man called Guha was never used to taking bath. If you don't take bath naturally, there will be a layer of dust, dirt over you. Maybe he was not concerned, and that should not be our botheration too. The moment somebody came and informed that Rama is coming, Guha started running towards Rama, and he jumped into the waters of Ganga, and that water splashed all over his body. So his body got wet. And with the same pace, he continued running on the banks of river Ganga, which had fine alluvial soil, dust, silt on either side. So all that got attached to his body. So he was already dirty for not having taken bath. Then there was water splashed over it, and then there was a layer of dust, sand dust over it. With this, he goes and stands panting for breath in front of Rama. Rama is seeing Guha for the first time. Guha is seeing Rama for the first time. He is not even looking up and looking at Rama's face. He falls straight at Rama's feet. Rama says, "Get up." Guha, get up. What have you done? You have done a very cruel act, Guha. Guha said, "Swami, please tell me what have I done? Please give me punishment. What is that cruel thing that I have done?" You should have hugged me. You should have embraced me. How dare you fall at my feet? Guha, come here. You are my best friend. Atma Samasakha. Imagine somebody is falling on the main road and they come to us. We will think twice before embracing them because all their dust on their body will come on our body. But Rama was not bothered. Atma Samasakha. He just embraced. Every minute of Rama's act, Lakshmana was admiring. He thought, I have lived with my brother for so many years. I have not noticed this love. What? Wow. Every minute my brother throws a wonder at me. This is called Ramanubhavam. Every minute of Ramayana is an experience. Sita looks at Guha because the moment she knows that her husband has so much of respect and regards for this person, I should grace this dear son of mine. So she starts casting her glances on him. Yasyam dishi viharate devi drishtistvadiya tasyam ahamahamikan dhanvate sampadoga yogarambat tvaridamanaso yushvadaikanta yuktam Dharmam praptum prathamamiha ye dharayante dhanayam yasyam dishi viharate. When Mahalakshmi looks at somebody, they reach the heights of prosperity and fortune. Then Guha said, Rama, you have come to my house. I am so blessed, Rama. Please. He orders his assistants, subordinates to go get different varieties of food. Bhakshyam, bhojyam, cha peyam, cha lekyam, chaidupasthitam. See, we have various kinds of food that we can consume. Suppose you give me fruit juice. I cannot use spoon and fork to have. I have to drink. So, certain things are to be drunk. For example, water, buttermilk, fruit juice. These are all to be consumed. You have to drink. Certain things you will have to mix and eat. For example, in the South Indian varieties, a lot of you must have heard of sambar, which is called kolambu. Rasam, which is called saru. Rasam, satram. There are various names. So, you mix that with rice and then put it into your mouth and chew it well. There are certain varieties where you'll have to tear them open. For example, chapatis, naans, tandoori roti. What a variety, right? So you'll have to tear it open. Like how Nisimha tore open Hiranyakashipu, you have to tear that chapati. Then you'll have to chew it. There are certain varieties where you can't drink it, where you can't mix it. For example, lekhyam. I'm just giving you an example. You must have heard of chavan prash, those Ayurvedic concoctions. It will be like a paste. So generally, in earlier days, they used to give a small ball of that paste and you'll have to lick it. So that is the feature of that particular variety. During Deepavali, Deepasya Avali iti Deepavali or Diwali as some of them will call it. Early in the morning, it was a tradition to give a certain herbal medicine to the inmates of a house, because you will end up having laddus and jalebis and rabdis and every form of sweet. So there will be some kind of a stomach turmoil. To avoid that, elderly people will make a medicine out of herbs and soak that in oil and give that as a paste. Early morning you will have to consume that paste. That paste will act as a prevention from getting any stomach problems. So you'll have to lick it. Certain things you'll have to lick it, certain you have to crush it, certain you have to chew it, certain you have to drink it. All forms of food was presented by Guha to Rama. Bhakshyam, bhojyam, cha peyam, cha lekyam, chaidupasthitam. That time Rama says, Kushachira jinadharam phalamula shanam chamam vidhi pranihitam dharme tapasam vanagocharam. See, I have come to the forest to live like a hermit. If I start consuming the fruit juice, smoothie, all these varieties, you are giving me Italian cuisine, Mediterranean cuisine, Asian cuisine, then what is the difference between me living in Ayodhya as a prince and as a hermit in the forest? I am living like a prince only in the forest. So I will not consume any of these. At this point in time, some activists will get up and say, no, Rama was against the SC/ST. He did not support Guha. That is why he did not want to eat Guha's food. Wait. Next day he consumed what Guha gave. So is Rama very weak? One day he says, I have vowed not to eat any of this. Next day he eats. Is he so weak? Or was there some protest between these 2 days where the hunters come and say, you have disrespected our chief Guha for not consuming what he gave? What happened in the middle? You have to wait for the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a 2-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.